We'll begin today's practice lying on our backs. So you can go ahead and lower onto your mat. And find your way into your Shavasana by spreading your arms and legs wide away from your body. Letting the head rest softly on the ground. The arms and legs grow heavy. Take a few minutes to really settle into your mat, letting go of anything that may be distracting you or pulling you away from your practice. Instead, focusing your mind on your breath. Taking a long inhale through the nose and a soft exhale through the nose. Big breath in through the nose. A soft breath out. Big breath in, belly rise. With a soft breath out, the belly softens and contracts. Breathe in, the belly's rising and expanding towards the ceiling. And exhale to let it go, belly softens. Hold on to that same slow rhythm of breath. Each breath in, creating space in your body. And each breath out, settling you into that space. Start to bring some movement into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Find some rotations through the wrists and the ankles in both directions. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. Draw the right knee in towards your chest, interlace the fingers around it. Hug the right knee in nice and close towards you as you extend for the left heel. The toes of the left foot are pointing up towards the sky and drawn back towards your face, staying active through the entire left leg. The right leg, however, can be passive, soften through the ankle, hug the right knee in. Draw the right hip crease away from your shoulder, down into the mat. You can stay here in the center, or you can start to find some gentle rotations through the right knee. Really stabilize through the left side of your body and just circling at the right hip. Finding some movement through the hip joint. Notice if the left toes are swaying from side to side. Can you keep them centered and pointing to the sky? Circling the right knee in the opposite direction. And pausing in the center. Hug the right knee in close towards you. Release the right arm at your side. Lengthen as you breathe in. And on the out breath, find your twist. Right knee crosses the body over to the left. You can use the left hand on the right knee for a little added pressure, but never being forceful. An option to place a pillow or a block beneath the right knee to bring the floor a little bit closer to it and add some support. Gaze is at the ceiling or over to the right, bringing the twist into your neck. Let your gaze come back through center. The right knee will follow. Hug the right knee in towards the chest, let the left knee come to join it. Bringing both knees in towards the center. Lengthen through the spine, and then hug the knees in close. Alternating between the length and compression with your breath. Take your grip over to the left leg. Extend the right leg long this time, keeping the left leg hugged in close. Keep sending your breath deep into your belly. Stay here in the center in stillness, or start to find those gentle circles with the left knee, moving at half the speed your body naturally tries to move. You can even place the right hand onto the right hip to encourage stillness in that area, guiding the right hip down into the mat and keeping it there as you find those rotations. Moving slowly and just taking time to notice any areas of tension along the way. Reverse the circles in the opposite direction. Pause in the center, bring the right hand back up onto the left knee, hug it in close. Release the left arm beside you, find your twist, crossing the left leg over your body to the right. Once again, the gaze can stay up towards the ceiling or head over to the left. And you can decide if you'd like your left knee to hang in space or if you'd prefer to fill the space with a pillow or a yoga block. Bring the gaze back through center. The left knee will follow. The left knee hugged in, take one big breath. And then draw the right knee in to meet the left, taking them a little bit wider, sending the knees towards the outer edges of your shoulders. Press down firm through your pelvis, and lengthen the spine. You can stay here with the knees wide, heels close to your bum. Or you can come into Happy Baby by bringing your arms to the inside of your thighs. Reach across your shins and take hold of the pinky toe edge of your feet. Pelvis stays rooted into the mat, and as the knees start to creep towards the floor beside your shoulders, start to guide the soles of your feet up to the sky with a bend in the knees. You're working towards a 90-degree angle at the ankles and at the knees, but that'll take some time to get there. It's just a general idea of the position that you're heading into. You want a long spine here. You're going to find that the tailbone and pelvis want to curl up, round up off of the mat. See if you can keep length in the low back and press the pelvis and tailbone into the floor. Even if it means the heels stay a little bit closer towards the bum, that's okay. Keep breathing deep into your belly. Find softness through the upper body, the shoulders, the face. Slowly release the feet onto the mat. Give the knees a gentle sway from side to side. Let that go. Find stillness in the center and reach for a strap. And that can be a yoga strap, it can be a leash, it can be a belt, or even just a long towel will work as well. And draw the right knee in towards your chest and loop your strap, whatever you've chosen, over the right foot. Start to straighten the right leg as you draw the sole of the right foot up towards the sky. It's okay to have a little micro bend in the knee to help protect the joint as long as you're feeling a stretch at the back of the right thigh. Deep flex in the right ankle, reaching the right heel towards the ceiling, pressing the right hip into the mat. We want the hips to be square, so send the right hip away from the shoulders and down into the mat. Maybe the left hip inches a little bit towards the shoulders to even them out. A deep flex in the right ankle. The toes are drawn towards the face. The heel is reaching up high. Find length on the inhale and a little more depth with every exhale. Maybe the toes reach towards the floor, a little bit closer to the floor behind you. Keep the right foot extended towards the ceiling. If it's not already there, bring the sole of the left foot onto the floor. Release the strap from your right foot. Turn the toes to face the right side of the room and bend at the right knee, bringing the pinky toe edge of the right foot onto the left thigh. Right knee is directed away from your shoulders. You can even use your right hand on the thigh to guide it away gently. We're looking for a stretch into the outer right hip and glute. If you're not quite feeling it here, keep the right knee reaching away from the shoulder. Start to draw the left knee in towards the left shoulder. At the same time, pressing firm through the pelvis into the mat. We want the left knee to come towards the outer edge of the ribs, a little bit towards the shoulder rather than the midline. Keep the right knee reaching away from the shoulders at an equal rate that the left knee is being drawn in. Maintaining a deep flex through the right ankle, so the right toes are drawn towards the right shin, and you can soften through the left ankle. Once you find that point where you're feeling a stretch, just pause there. And slowly release, let the left foot find the mat. The right foot join it. Take a gentle sway from side to side with your knees. Find stillness in the center. Left knee is drawn in towards your chest this time. Loop your strap over the ball of the left foot. Start to straighten your left leg. Reach the heel of the left foot up towards the sky, keeping a deep flex in the left ankle. Can you find some softness to the upper body? Let the upper arms so the biceps rest on the floor. Shoulder blades are tucked beneath you. Left hips are reaching away from the shoulders, right hips reaching slightly towards it to stay square through the hips. Just a few more breaths on this side. And then if the right foot is not already bent at the knee, do so. Bringing the sole of the right foot onto the mat. Release your strap from the left foot. Turn the toes to face the left side of the room, bend at the left knee, and bring the pinky toe edge of your left foot to rest on the right thigh. The left knee here is reaching away from your shoulders, creating a figure 4 shape with the legs, without shifting your right hip. So make sure the right hip's reaching away from the right shoulder. Take a few minutes just to find your position, to square up the shoulders and hips, lengthen through the waist. Decide if you'd like to draw the right knee in towards the outer right shoulder. Continue sending the left knee away from the left shoulder. You can play with shifting the weight from the left hip to the right hip. Very slow motion movements, just to see where it is that you feel the stretch most. Slowly release the right leg. Let the left foot join it on the floor. Release the arms out at your sides or up overhead, and just take a gentle sway of the knees from side to side. Find stillness in the center, heel toe, the feet towards the midline. Soles of the feet come to touch, knees fall wide apart, creating a diamond shape with your legs. Allow the soles of the feet to support one another. Find length up the back of the neck by slightly tucking your chin in towards your chest. Find some softness. without trying to make any effort to change its rhythm or rate. Simply become aware of the body breathing in this pose. Aware of what parts of your body are moving with that breath. Welcome to stay here for a little bit longer. Or if you feel ready to move on, you can draw the knees towards each other with or without the help of your hands. Soles of the feet on the floor, bring the right arm up overhead. Roll over onto your right side body. Use the bicep as a pillow. Let the left palm rest softly on the floor or on your body. Draw the knees in towards your chest, rounding through the low back. Create space into the back body, between the ribs and the vertebrae. When you feel ready in your own time, find your way up to a tabletop position. The shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. Just take a couple sways from side to side, sending one shoulder to your hip and then the other. We'll move through a few cat and cows. Take a big breath in, lift your tailbone high, let your belly drop, heart comes forward, lift the gaze up. On an exhale, scoop the tailbone behind you, round through the spine, chin to chest, gaze to your belly. Big breath in, lifted tailbone, belly drops, heart comes forward and up. Slow breath out for your cat-like back. Press firm through the hands as you hollow out the chest and look to the belly. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Take 3 more at your own pace. Following your own rhythm of breath. No rush to get there at all, but when you're finished your 3, just landing in a neutral spine. Let the big toes come to touch, the knees go wide apart. Shift your hips back towards the heels for a child's pose. Having as much space between the knees as you like, let your forehead rest onto the floor or onto a pillow or block. Slide the fingertips away from the hips, pressing firm through the fingers and the palm. Drawing the biceps, so the upper portions of your arms, towards the ceiling and out towards the walls beside you without lifting the thumb and index finger off the mat. Slowly rise back up. Find your tabletop pose. Walk the knees in a little bit closer towards the hands. And turn the fingertips out towards the side walls. So the wrist, the base of the palm and the wrist faces the center of your mat, and the fingertips point outwards. From here, we're just going to take gentle rocking motions from side to side. So bring the right shoulder beyond the right edge of the mat. Come back through center and over to the left. Come back through center, over to the right. See if you can do this with straight elbows. Back through center, over to the left. And just noticing here, stop in the center and pause. The eye of the elbow, so the bend portion of it, the inside is facing the center of the mat. The elbows point outwards. So if you were to do a push-up, the elbows would push to the sides. Take a look at the elbows and notice that they're bending backwards. Sometimes you have a little hypermobility, extra movement in this joint. And if you notice the elbows are pointing in towards the center a little bit, you'd be better suited to have a gentle bend in the elbows to protect those joints rather than having them overextend into the midline. With that in mind, with straight arms or a gentle bend in the elbows, start to find that side-to-side motion once again. Moving slowly here. There's no benefit to quickly going side to side. You want to move nice and slow, maybe even pausing for half a breath or a full breath each time you come to the side. Just noticing where you reach that point of tension. Taking one more in each direction until you feel even from side to side. And find your center. Return the hands to their natural position, lift one up, give a little rotation through the wrist in both directions. And then do the other side, rotating through the wrist in both directions. Pause in the center, both hands on the mat. This time we're going to turn the fingertips to face the knees, palm on the floor. So it's as if your hands are on backwards here. The palms are on the floor, pressing firm through all 10 fingertips. The fingers point towards the back of your mat. This may already be a lot of stretch for you, and in fact, you may have to walk the knees a little bit closer to ease off on the stretch, maybe drawing the shoulders a little bit beyond the wrists. You want to just be feeling a bit of a stretch into the wrist and up the arms. If you're not quite feeling the stretch and have a little more depth, you're going to start to sink the hips back towards the heels until you do feel that stretch without lifting the palms up off of the mat. Keep the shoulders drawn away from the ears and the chest open. Because of overuse in hands, either through work or through texting, playing on the internet, on your cell phone, or just day-to-day working life, a lot of us hold tension in the hands and the wrists. And many are actually susceptible to carpal tunnel syndrome. This is just a great stretch to help maintain some movement and mobility in the joints of the wrist. And while it may feel excruciating at times during the stretch, it is definitely beneficial. Giving yourself permission to come out or ease off at any time that it becomes too much. And taking just one more big breath here, really pressing firm through the base of those palms. Rise back up on the inhale. Turn the hands to face the front of the mat. And then once again, one at a time, just find some gentle rotations through the wrist. Both directions. Switching and doing the opposite hand. In both directions. For anyone who does have wrist sensitivities, if ever you're in tabletop or plank-like positions, you can always choose to come up onto fists instead, and that'll help to bring out some of the tension from those wrists. From here, we're going to tuck the toes behind us, The toes are on the floor, heels stacked above them. Start to walk the hands back towards the knees, the hips towards the heels. Find a long, straight spine, core is engaged. Pressing equally through big toe mound and pinky toe mound of your feet. We're looking to feel that same kind of stretch now with the soles of the feet and into the inner arches. Maybe you're not quite feeling it yet. You can start to walk your hands up the thighs, come to sit up tall. Applying a little bit of weight into the heels. Maybe sliding the knees away from the heels, from the toes a little bit. But keep the heels stacked over top of the toes. See if you can keep the feet parallel with each other like the number 11. You may notice the heels try to tip in towards each other or out towards the sides of your mat. It can sometimes help if you have yoga blocks to place that between the feet and squeeze the inner arches of the feet into the block. Once again, giving yourself permission to come out at any time. The soles of our feet are an area that many of us do not stretch ever. And with spending so much time on your feet, it's likely that there's a lot of built up tension in that area. The longer you hold this position, you'll start to feel the stretch move from the soles of the feet, up the calves and even up into the thighs. All of the areas of our body, the fascia, the tissues are all interconnected. And when one area is tight, the rest suffer the consequence. So just the same as we stretch one of them, we want to stretch all of them together, creating space and a sense of openness through the body. Start to slowly slide the hands back towards the mat if they're not already there. Bring the weight off of the heels, walk forward, find your tabletop and untuck your toes. Take a gentle sway of the feet from side to side, just rubbing out the tops of the feet, maybe tapping out the toes. Whatever feels good, drawing circles with the ankles. Just releasing that pressure. From your tabletop, extend the right leg long behind you. Turn the toes to face the right side of the room. Bend the right knee and step forward to the top right corner of your mat. You can take as many steps as it takes to get there. You can even reach back with the right hand, pick up the foot and move it forward. Slide the left leg back behind you. You can have as much or as little bend in the left knee as you like. The toes of the right foot are pointing slightly out towards the right side of the room. Just a bit of a wide stance lunge here for lizard pose. Option to tip over onto the pinky toe side of the right foot, lifting the inner arch off the mat and showing the inseam of the right pant leg towards the sky. Keep both hands here on the floor, or bring the left palm beneath your face, reach the right hand up onto the right knee and open your heart up to the right side wall. Bringing a little bit of a twist into the stretch. Think about sending the right knee away from the hips and over to the right. If you're feeling any pressure in the left knee, you can always place a towel beneath it or fold up your yoga mat on that side for some extra cushion. Bring the hand back onto the mat. Heel toe, the right foot through center. Framing it with your hands. And just coming into a low lunge. Again, as much or as little bend in the left leg as you need. Maybe you're more in a 90-degree angle with the knee, and that's okay. As long as you're feeling a stretch at the front of the left thigh. The right knee is pointing the same direction as the right toes. Ideally, the right knee is stacked above the right ankle. If you find that it's jetting forward, it could mean that you have to lengthen your stance and send that left knee back a little bit. Widen your stance a little bit to support your balance, so about hip distance apart between the inner arch of the right foot and the inner left thigh. can stay low to the ground, or we're going to walk our hands up onto the right knee, find some height. Again, if you're a little wobbly here, just walk the right foot towards the edge of the mat a bit to widen your stance. So option to take this pose while sitting down, just sitting on your bum, cross-legged or on your knees. Or you can really challenge yourself by holding the lunge position and reaching for your strap. Take the strap between your hands and walk the hands nice and wide on the strap. Stay strong through the lunge, squeeze your inner thighs together as the outer hips reach out and back. Core stays engaged to protect your low back here. Reach the arms forward as you inhale, reach up towards the sky. And without swaying through the low back, start to lower the hands behind you. Be gentle on the strap, allow the arms to widen if they need as you lower back down. Big breath in, reach up, core stays engaged. Exhale to lower. Inhale, reach up, keep tension on the strap. Exhale to lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Take 2 more at your own pace. Last set. Keep that right knee drawn in towards the midline. It's going to want to tip out towards the outside of your mat. As you come forward, release the strap, frame your front foot. Walk your hands back towards the hips, straightening your front leg. Come up onto the right heel with a flat back, fold forward over the right leg. Just notice how quickly the tension in the front of the left hip and thigh eased off when you transition to this pose. Moving the stretch now to the back of the right thigh. Send the left hip towards the left heel and lengthen from the tailbone to the top of your head. Walk the hands forward to frame your front foot. Both hands come to the inside of the right foot, heel toe, the right foot to the outer edge. Shift your hips back, slide the right foot to meet the left, returning to your tabletop. Take a gentle sway of the hips from side to side. Find your neutral. Left leg reaches back behind you. Turn the toes to face the left as you lift the left hip up. Bend the left knee. Step forward as many steps as it takes to the top left corner of your mat. Start to sink the hips down low. Left toes are pointing slightly out to the left wall. An option to come over onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot, lifting the inner arch off of the mat. Remember, there's always the option here to fold over your mat to add some extra cushion beneath the knee. Stay here, both hands on the floor. We're going to bring it to a bit of a twist. Bring the right hand beneath the face. Shoulder stays stacked above the wrist. Left hand onto the left knee. Open your heart up to the left as you gaze over to the left or up to the sky. Keep pressing down to the big toe of the right foot. Remembering to breathe as you hold these poses. Gaze comes back through center, left hand returns to the mat. Left hand goes to the outside of the left foot, heel toe, left foot towards the center. Find your low lunge. So again, make sure you have a wide enough stance to support your balance. We're not walking on a tightrope here. A long straight spine. Squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, outer hips are reaching out and back behind you. Maybe the hands stay on the floor and you just work on opening up through the front of the right hip and thigh. Otherwise, you can choose to rise up onto the left knee, find some height. You want the center of the chest pointing forward. Shoulders are aiming to stack above the hips. Again, option here to come into just a comfortable seated position. You don't have to stay in the lunge. Otherwise, we're going to reach for the strap, take it in the hands nice and wide. Starting with the hands in front of you, inhale, reach up overhead. Belly button stays drawn in. Keep the low ribs tucked in as well as you exhale, lower back down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. The wider the hands, the easier this will be. The narrower, the more challenging. Rising up on the in-breath and lowering on the on the exhale. Take 3 more at your own pace. See if you can keep the spine stable. Avoid swaying and arching the back into a cat and cow-like position. Keep equal weight on the left pinky toe and left big toe side of the foot. And the left knee stays drawn in towards the midline. Last one. Release the strap. Lower the hands. We're going to walk the hands back towards the hips. Come up onto the heel of the left foot. Draw your left toes to your face. Rather than the left hip coming towards the right heel, think about the right hip coming towards it. The left hip is reaching back behind you as if it's trying to drag the left heel with it, but the left heel is firmly planted into the mat. Stay open through the chest. Long spine all the way up your neck. Walk the fingertips forward, frame your front foot. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Heel toe the left foot to the outer edge. Shift your hips back. Slide the left foot to meet the right, land in your tabletop. A gentle sway of the hips from side to side. Find stillness in the center. And then we'll come to land on our back once again. Landing on your back, walk the feet a little bit wider apart, let the knees tip in to touch. So the knees are bent, feet are at the edges of the mat, and the knees tip in to support one another. Just taking a moment here to release your low back into the mat. This is always a great alternative to Shavasana if you have low back sensitivity or hip issues that make it uncomfortable lying on your back. Just allows you to create a little more space for the low back to be comfortable here on your mat. We're going to heel toe the feet towards one another. Extend the legs long to the bottom of the mat, reach the arms up overhead, take a full body stretch here. Lengthening from fingertips to toes, arms are resting on the floor, find some length. Exhale, let it go. Big breath in, full body stretch. Exhale, soften. Walk the feet towards the bottom right corner of your mat. Hips stay to the center or slightly to the left. Upper body comes over to the top right corner as well. So we're creating a C shape with the body, a banana shape, where the feet and the arms are over to the right, but the hips and waist are over to the left. Left hip, left shoulder, both resting on the floor, not lifting up. An option here, if you'd like to cross the left ankle over the right to just add a little more tension, a little more stretch into that left side. Breathing into the left waist, left hip, left thigh, left ribs. Uncross the legs if they're crossed. Find your way back through center. Take another big full body stretch here in the midline, neutralizing the spine as you breathe in, lengthen. As you exhale, let it go, find some softness. We'll move to the opposite side. Feet are going to the bottom left corner this time. Hips are centered or slightly to the right. The upper body slides its way over to the left as well. If space doesn't allow, you can always take hold of opposite elbows. You can bring the right arm up overhead and just allow your left arm to come to your side. Option to cross the right ankle over the left. Even using the left foot here to guide the right foot over to the left a little further. Slowly release the right foot if it's crossed. Come back through center. Take one more full body stretch here in the center, the biggest stretch of your day. And take a big inhale, lengthen from fingers to toes. Hold that inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly let it go. Bring the arms out at your sides, create space between the feet, and allow your body to settle into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Again, always the option to bend through the knees and walk the feet wide with the knees tipped into touch if that's more comfortable. Or even come to lie on your side in a fetal pose. Whatever resting pose you choose, offer yourself a few minutes here. There's always a temptation to get up and go quickly, move on with your day. Instead, just take a few more breaths, a few more moments of stillness to allow your body to absorb the benefits of its practice. To allow your mind to begin to adjust to moments of stillness. We're so used to moving quickly and rushing on about our days that it can actually be quite challenging when we ask ourselves to settle into stillness without thinking about other things that we could or should be doing. Simply focusing on the breath and witnessing it as it moves through the body. Taking another long inhale through the nose. And a soft exhale through the nose. Big breath in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Continuing with that long, focused breath. for as long as you choose to do so. With such gratitude as always for you joining me here in practice. Until next time, namaste.